And welcome everybody to this latest installment of the HTFL, the Hometown Football League. I'm Big Paulie coming to you on this rather cool afternoon in Cleveland, Ohio. As you see here by the setup screen, 42 degrees, a wind of 5 to 15 as O.J. Simpson travels from Buffalo to take on Cleveland and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns 2-1 on the year, Buffalo 1-2. It's widely rumored that in books that I have read that O.J. Simpson idolized Jim Brown, so this is going to be kind of a student against a teacher kind of matchup, I guess you could say. Cleveland won the toss and will receive. Get the ball in OJ's hands right away. Jim Kelly and Otto Graham. Graham returning from injury early in the HTFL season. Your quarterbacks, Marv Levy and Paul Brown, a couple of legendary coaches, roaming the sidelines. And we'll get this one underway. Eric Metcalf, back deep for Cleveland. It's going to be taken by an up back, and that is Marion Motley, who we're going to see a lot of in the backfield for Cleveland. He returned the ball 23 yards. Setting up the Cleveland offense and the Buffalo defense for you. Brown and Motley at running backs. Mitchell Warfield at wide receivers. Kellen Winslow will be your tight end. That's Kellen Winslow Jr. Otto Graham at quarterback. Thomas, Hickerson, Mack, Willis, and Shafraff will be your offensive line. For Buffalo, you got Bruce Smith and Schobel at defensive end. Sestak and Washington defensive tackles. Bennett, Matzos, Talley, your linebackers. Bird and Clements, your corners. Jones and Symes are your safeties. Should point out the Buffalo Bills are a combination of the AFL and NFL Buffalo Bills from 1960 onward, and the AAFC Buffalo Bills going back from just right after World War II from 46 to 49. Cleveland is a combination of the Browns' first franchise up until from 1946 up to about 1995. And the revised Cleveland Browns, the new Cleveland Browns, the expansion team from 1999 onward. Theoretically, there could be a Cleveland Ram or two in the lineup, but I have not seen one. Trap left Jim Brown to start the game. And Brown with a nice gain to start her off here, 13 yards. Matzos on a tackle for Buffalo. Cleveland the heavy favorite to win this game, despite losing to Cincinnati last week. And we will go with a play action pass to Warfield. Look for something at 50% or higher. We'll go a long fly. Otto Graham, who once wore number 60, wears number 14 for our simulation. He gains 3, and it was Schobel making the tackle. And it's now 2nd and 7 at the 46. We'll put Brown back to work with a trap right. Nothing there. In fact, Schobel tackles him for a 1-yard loss, so it's 3rd and 8. Bring in the third wide receiver, which will be Benton, and put a man in motion for a pass to Paul Warfield. Medium pass. We'll let the computer pick what kind of pass. There's the throw, and it's caught. A gain of 23. Clements on the tackle for Buffalo, and it's now 1st and 10 at the 32. Back to Jim Brown. We'll go sweep to the right. And Brown picks up 5 yards. He's got 3 carries for 17 yards on this drive. We'll go to Marion Motley on a dive on 2nd and 5. He'll get the first down. We're going to get Marion Motley the ball as much as possible on top of Brown. They're going to be fighting to see who gets more carries, I guess. Off tackle right, Jim Brown on 1st and 10 from the 19, and he only gets back to the line, and that's all. Washington gets to him. That is Ted Washington out of Louisville. Played on that last team to make the playoffs for Buffalo for many, many years in those late 90s, early aughts teams. And we'll go to Motley this time, trapped to the right. Brown needing a breather or two. And a fumble recovered by Buffalo. Schobel picks it up at the 12. And Buffalo will go to work from there, 88 yards from their own goal line. Let's set the Buffalo offense and the Cleveland defense. Simpson and Kublitsky will be your running backs. Molds, Reed will be your base wideouts. Baldwin at tight end. Kelly out of Miami of Florida at quarterback. Wolford, Delamore, Hull, Shaw, and Ballard will be your offensive line. For Cleveland, Ford and Burnett are your defensive ends. Rimkus and Shirk at defensive tackles. Banks, Johnson, Matthews at linebacker. Dixon and Menafield from the 80s Browns are going to be your corners. Darden and James, your safeties. And on 1st and 10 from the 12, let's see what the Bills do here. It's Kelly, and he gives it to the Juice, and the Juice finds nothing there, no gain. Dixon came up, lowered the boom on OJ, and at the 12. Now a 2nd and 10 from the 12. A throw and an incompletion. Hull's shaken up on the play, one of the offensive linemen. He'll be back in a few plays. He's the center, and they'll bring Wood in to replace him. Stevie Johnson comes in. I keep meaning to make Steve Johnson number 81. Eric Wood coming in at safety, at cornerback. You see them, not quarterback, but center. You see him there. 3rd and 10 at the 12. And a sack. Banks with a sack on Kelly, and that backs Buffalo back 5 for a 4th and 15, which should give Cleveland good field position. In fact, this one, it was caught all the way up at the 36 by Eric Metcalf. He returns at 10 to the 26, and with 8:11 left in the opening quarter, great shape here for the Browns to be starting at. We're going to go Winslow on a medium fly on 1st and 10. Try to catch Buffalo off guard. And that's a quick 6. Winslow putting Cleveland on the board. With 7:58 left in the opening quarter. Here's the point after try. It's good. Barr puts it through, Matt Barr. And it's 7-0 Cleveland. McGee back to punt for Buffalo. Their return game has been extraordinary in the first few games of this season. And that's a return of 24 yards to the 26. So Jim Kelly brings his team back out 1st and 10 at the 24. Kelly will throw on 1st down. And he scrambles, finding no receivers open for 4 yards, and Menafield makes the tackle. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 28. OJ with just a 1-yard gain. He has 2 carries and a yard to start things off. 3rd and 5 from the 29. A throw and a catch for a first to Andre Reed. He of those great teams the Bills had in the late 80s and early 90s. And that's 6 yards on the 1st down. And that was Dixon bringing him down. Now a 1st and 10 at the 35. And Cleveland will use one of their timeouts. They have 2 left the remainder of the half. Now you have 1st and 10 again at the 35 again. Kelly, incomplete. Passing to Andre Reed. Matthews tipped it. And now that's a 2nd and 10, same spot. Ball at the 35. That's caught by Baldwin for 8 yards. Number 19. We'll spotlight him here for a moment. He played tight end and wide receiver on those early Buffalo Bills teams of the AAFC. Also played defensive back, but is rated a 3, which in Dave Koch Sports' Action PC Football, the simulation of choice that we use here, that's not really a good rating. 3rd and 2 at the 43. That's an incomplete pass, looking for Simpson, but finding nothing but ground for that ball to land on. Now a 4th and 2 at the 43. Looks like Buffalo will punt. And Mormon's punt goes 37 yards to the 20. And he kicked it to the sidelines away from Metcalf. After the fine return Metcalf got on the last series. So Cleveland, with 4:39 left in the opening frame, they lead 7-0, and they will go trap right with Jim Brown. And Brown finds 5 yards before Ted Washington makes the tackle. Pitch right to Jim Brown. We'll keep him active. And Buffalo found some confusion on defense on that play. They call time, and they have 2 left. Medium slot to Bobby Mitchell, if you please. That's there, first down, and a pickup of 23. They have a wind advantage for the last 4:19 of this first quarter. They should take advantage of it. Screen to Motley on 1st and 10. And out of the backfield, Motley with a nice gain, 15 yards. Move it up to the 37. We'll go Brown, trap right. A loss of a yard. Tally on the tackle, which I believe his first tackle of the game, or his first tally in the tackle stat sheet. And now you got 2nd and 11 at the 38. We'll go to Brown in a 3 wide receiver set to open up the running lanes off tackle right. And Brown with running room all the way to the 8. A gain of 30. So give him 51 yards on the day and 7 carries. He's having a good day so far. Double tight end formation as they'll try to focus on this running game a little bit here. Motley. Marker down.
Ball start. Offense. Number 77, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
That is Shafraff, who commits the first penalty of the game, which in HTFL football it's kind of late to see the first penalty of the game with 1:30 left in the first quarter. Usually we have about 16 penalties a game in some cases, about 10 to 16, but so this is a good pace penalty-wise, and we hope that continues. Trap right Jim Brown, 1st and goal at the 13. And put it on the scoreboard, Jim Brown. Out of Syracuse, the legendary running back, Hall of Famer. 2 Hall of Fame running backs. Brown for Cleveland, Simpson for Buffalo. Here's the point after. It's good. And O.J. Simpson's Buffalo Bills will have work to do, trailing 14-0, 1:20 left first quarter. McGee back deep again for Buffalo. He will return it. And that's out to the 28. Schaffner on the tackle. A gain of 27 on the return. So far, Buffalo with 14 yards of net offense, 169 for Cleveland. They have run it, they being Cleveland, have thrown it 4 times and run it 11. And Buffalo has thrown it 5 times and rushed 3 times. 1st and 10 at the 27. Here's Simpson. O.J. Simpson with a gain of 5, but we have an injury. Shirk will be out of the game, at least a few plays. Looks like he tweaked his knee, and that will bring Burnett in. We'll look at him real fast. Rob Burnett out of Syracuse. And it'll be a 2nd and 5 at the 32. That is to Kublitsky, and he picks up 5 yards in the first down. They'll move the chains. A 1st and 10 at the 37. Could be the final play of the first quarter. A gain of 8 for the Juice, and that'll do it. End of the first quarter, it's Cleveland 14, Buffalo nothing. Back with you to start the second quarter. In case you missed it, we did an OOTP Perfect Team 21 series part, the 42nd part of that series that I have been doing earlier in the day, and we will be doing another HTFL game tomorrow. I missed yesterday's game due to some personal commitments, but we are back with you, and we're going to try to do a game every day until the end of the week, which will be sometime in around the 21st, 22nd or so. Let's see, today's the 10th. This is the 4th game. So my goal is to, about July 22nd, we should be done with week number 4 if the schedule holds. 2nd and 2 at the 45. Give to the Juice, and the Juice got squeezed there by Matthews. No gain. And we now got a 3rd and 2 at the 45. A throw and an incompletion right through the hands of Kublitsky. So Buffalo will have to punt unless they go for a fake here, which I'm going to watch out for. Controlling Cleveland. I always control the home team, but that's going to be a touchback. Buffalo with the win advantage. And that punt went sailing, probably a little farther than Buffalo would have liked. 14-12 left in the half. It's 14-0 Buffalo. They're going to go two tight ends. Just focus on the running game, a considerable deal here. Trap left, Jim Brown. And a fumble. And 2 yards. Willis pounced on it, and Cleveland will retain possession. They have already turned the ball over once so far in this game. Now a 2nd and 8 to Motley on a dive. Motley straight ahead for 6 yards. Bennett on a tackle. Cornelius Bennett. And it's 3rd and 2. We'll go Brewster on a short hitch. And that's caught. Otto Graham having a good day so far. 5 out of 5, 106 yards. That's a gain of 19 before Bird could get to him. 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 47. And here is Jim Brown once again, off tackle right. And Brown with running room. And how often have I said that in the early going of this game? He gains 10 more yards and a first down. And the Cleveland running game is just absolutely shredding this Bills defense. And it's not a bad defense at all. 14 carries, 100 yards as a team, 7.1 average. And Jimmy Brown has 76 of those 100 yards. We'll go to Motley on a dive on 1st and 10 from the Buffalo 43. And a marker.
Holding. Offense. Number 77. 10-yard penalty.
They get Shafrath again. Shafrath for holding. Helps to say the name slow every once in a while. 1st and 20. Now they're back on the other side of the 50 at the Cleveland 47. Here's Brown on a dive. Just a simple, straightforward play. 7 yards. Giving him 83 yards on the day. We'll go 3 wide. And we're going to throw to Jim Brown on this play. See what he could do out of the backfield. And he does quite well. A first down. Pick up a 15 before Odoms gets to him. And Cleveland doing anything they want right now to this Buffalo defense. 228 in total yards to Buffalo's 32 so far. We'll go back to Brown. Sweep to the right. And this is going to be another nice gain from the roar of the crowd. It's a pickup of 10. Brown close to 100 yards, and we still have 9:38 left in the half. Let's try to get him to 100 on a dive play here. Nothing there. 1 yard gain. Symes makes the stop. And it's going to be 2nd and 9. We'll go to Motley. Marion Motley, off tackle right. Another Browns legend, and that's 6 yards. 3rd and 3, what do? We're going to go short, and we're going to go to Mr. Mitchell. And he's got it, and he's got a touchdown. Bobby Mitchell about to make this a 21-0 game for Cleveland, and that is through the extra point by Barr. And it's 21 for Cleveland and 0 still for Buffalo. And McGee is back deep. Kicking into the wind is Cleveland there, and McGee runs it out to the 30, a gain of 28. Let's just take a look at Mitchell here. That is Bobby Mitchell who made that last touchdown for Cleveland. I wanted to make sure I got that right because Bobby Mitchell is also known to play for the Redskins too. 1st and 10, ball to 30 for Buffalo. They got to get going here. They trail by 21, and that's a throw and a catch to Molds. Glenn Bass is going to come in at tight end, and they're going to go double tight end on this next play. Minifield on the tackle on that last play for Cleveland. 2nd and 4 to 36. Cleveland calls a timeout. Their defense was a bit flummoxed about something, and with 7:02 left, we will start this play again. OJ, and OJ picks up 7. Matthews spun him down. 1st and 10 at the 43. OJ Simpson, 6 carries, 21 yards so far, but Jim Brown is really putting up the numbers early. 13 carries, 94 yards. Ball at the 43 on this 1st and 10 play. They go to Kablitsky. Kablitsky with a 1-yard gain to make it 2nd and 9. Move the ball up a yard to the 44, 56 yards away from the Cleveland goal. Looking for Stevie Johnson, and that's incompleted. 3rd and 9 at the 44. Crowd chanting defense, defense, defense. That's caught, and that is to Baldwin for a gain of 18 before Darton could stop him. That moves the ball to Cleveland territory at the 38, a 1st and 10. We got 5:12 left in the half. OJ breaks loose. He gets a first down off a first down. And they got OJ behind center here. On this next play, a 1st and 10 from the 28. I'm going to guess he's going to run. Wasn't ever really known for throwing the ball when he played. No gain on the draw play out of shotgun formation. Kind of a waste of a call there if you ask me. And it's now 2nd and 10 at the 28. Marker down.
False start. Offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
I believe that is Buffalo's first penalty of the game. And I'll check it here. Yep, was their first penalty of the game. Cleveland has only committed 2, so not a lot of laundry on the field for this game so far. 2nd and 15 at the 33. Kelly looking and finding Andre Reed for a gain of 7. We're under 3 minutes to go in a half. 3rd and 8 from the 26. And Kelly
pass interference
was looking
defense.
For Kablitsky,
number 27,
but they will get
penalty,
Darden for pass
automatic.
interference.
1st down.
And it's now a 1st and 10 for Buffalo at the Cleveland 21. They would like to get on the board before the half. I would think Kablitsky up the middle, a 7-yard gain. Minifield on the stop at the 14. Will we go to the 2-minute warning before a play is called? No. OJ up the middle, and OJ finds the end zone. OJ Simpson out of USC. Here's your point after try. It's good, and it's 21-7. The 2-minute warning with 1:51 left in the opening half. Here's Metcalf back deep. He'll down it. And Cleveland will start from their own 20. Wind in their faces. We'll go to Benton, medium slant. On 1st and 10, we have 1 timeout left. Buffalo will have 2, and look at that throw. Check the penalty.
Offense,
oh, it's coming
number
back.
60, 10-yard penalty.
Willis gets called for holding, and it's 1st and 20 for Cleveland. How about Jim Brown up the middle on a trap right? And another marker. Hang on.
Offsides, defense, number 56, 5-yard penalty.
And all of a sudden, out come the yellow hankies, and we've had 6 penalties in the game now. 1st and 15, we'll go to Warfield, medium fly. And Otto Graham with another completion, 24 yards. Warfield catches that, tackled by Clemens. They'll go quickly to the line with the 1 timeout left, and they'll go Mitchell on a short out. Incomplete.
Offsetting penalties. Repeat, 1st down.
But it won't count. Play will not count. So Otto keeps his completion streak going here. A short out to Jim Benton on this 1st and 10 attempt. Incomplete. He finally throws his first incompletion that counts. And it's now going to be 2nd and 10 with 1 minute exactly to go. How about Brown on a dive? Well, I was going to try to call a draw play, but a fumble. 5-yard gain. Buffalo will call a timeout. 51 seconds to go. We'll go to Winslow on the short hitch. Kellen Winslow Jr. That's incomplete. With 46 seconds left, Gary Collins is back. That's the wide receiver of the 60s and also punter, not the actor, who was in Hangar 18. The movie I remember him being in because I went to go see it once when I was a child. He is back deep to punt, and I believe it's the first time Cleveland's punted in this game. And we have a marker down.
Team.
Holding on the receiving team, so whatever leniency the refs were giving the Browns and the Bills in this game seems to be out the window now. 1st and 10 at the 8 with 40 seconds left. That's Andre Reed, and he gained 17. Buffalo used their last timeout. Like each team with one left now. They will not. They're going to call one more play, at least. Simpson with a 2-yard gain. He's now at 47 on the day, yards wise. And 13 seconds left. Will they get a playoff? They will not. Halftime, it's Cleveland 21, Buffalo 7. And welcome back for the start of the third quarter. It's Cleveland 21, Buffalo 7, but you knew that already. 288 total yards of offense for Cleveland. Very impressive. Buffalo with just 121. Kelly 6 for 11, 62 yards. Otto Graham started out 8 for 8. It is now 8 for 10, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jim Brown, the big story so far, he's at 99 yards rushing and looked like he was going to go over 100 early in the second quarter, but he has cooled down a little bit. Buffalo gets the ball to start the third quarter. McGee back deep. And we're underway here. 18-yard gain for McGee. Michaels on the stop. So Buffalo, who got the last touchdown of the second quarter and the first half, respectively, has O.J. Simpson back in the backfield. And here's Jim Kelly. About to get the ball. He gives it to Kablitsky. And Kablitsky surprises many for an 11-yard gain. That's 4 carries, 24 yards for him. We now have another first down at the 34 of Buffalo. Kelly throws looking for Baldwin, but in reality, he was just throwing the ball away there. Now a second and 10 at the 34, where the last play was. And that is caught by Baldwin, number 19. Darden makes the tackle after a gain of 17 yards. Ball just inside Cleveland territory now at the 49. The Bills have a little comeback in them. Wouldn't be the first time. A gain of 8. Although Frank Reich engineered the vaunted comeback by Buffalo against Cleveland in the 90s in that wild card game, one of the best NFL games you'll ever see. Kelly to Reed for 8. Dixon on the tackle. Second and 2, ball at the 41. How about OJ up to the left side, and he gets 6. He's now up to 53 yards rushing on the day on 11 carries. First and 10 at the 35. We have 12:11 left in the third. There's a throw to OJ. He gains 8 that way. Banks makes the stop for Cleveland, and it's now second and 2 at the 27 as Buffalo getting some momentum going. A sack by Banks. That's his second of the day. Chip Banks. So make it third and 7 at the 32 of Cleveland. 3 wides in the game for Buffalo. A first down as Kelly throws it to Reed. Reed now with his 5th catch of the day for 45 yards. First and 10 at the 25. Loss of 2 as Kelly gave it to Simpson on a draw, but Cleveland read it and read it well. Banks makes the stop. Second and 12 at the 27. No, I do not want Cleveland to call a timeout. Thank you very much. To Simpson. Simpson down the right sideline. And Darden knocks him out of bounds with a 1-yard loss. Third and 13 at the 28. 8:10 left.
False start. Offense, number 12, 5-yard penalty.
Kelly for a
Repeat,
false start.
down.
Did the little head bobbing thing again. And it's third and 13 to the 33. This drive has taken 6 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock, and Buffalo might have nothing to show for it here. Throw, an incompletion.
Encroachment, defense.
They'll get
number 80, 5-yard penalty.
Ford for encroachment, and that gives Buffalo another shot at it. Third and 13 at the 28. Incomplete. Another
Pass
marker.
interference, defense.
And that's
number
a big one.
20, automatic. First down.
They get Don Paul on pass interference, and that moves it to the 16, and Buffalo's drive stays alive. This will be the 13th play of it here. 8:01 left in the third. Here's OJ. OJ stuffed at the line by Michael Dean Perry. That's no gain. Michael Dean Perry, the more talented sibling to the refrigerator, who was a star and a folk hero back on that 85 Bears team. 2nd and 10 at the 16. Kelly, and a touchdown to Stevie Johnson. And Buffalo is right back in this game at 21-13. Here's the point after attempt. It's good by Lindell. And just like that, it's 21-14 with 7:09 left in the third quarter. A nice drive for Buffalo that took half of the third quarter off the over half of the third quarter clock away from Cleveland. Here's Metcalf back deep. It'll be a touchback 5 yards deep from the end zone. And Jim Brown, Otto Graham, and the rest of the Cleveland Browns will try to gain some momentum back here. A trap to the right by Jim Brown. He's over 100 yards on the day now. Bennett will go to the sideline for a few plays as he tweaks his knee. And there you see it. Jim Brown, 15 carries, 103 yards. And now you got 2nd and 6. They'll go 3 wide, and they'll bring Bobby Mitchell in for a short hitch. That's incomplete.
Personal foul. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
Bruce Smith.
First down.
It's called for the personal foul. No, not a chicken, but a flagrant foul. Not a flagrant, but a near flagrant foul, I guess you could say. And we'll give it back to Jim Brown again on a trap right. 6 yards on the day. 6 yards on the play, not the day, for Brown on that, and it'll be 2nd and 4. How about a dive to Motley? Back to the line, and that's it. Tally on the stop. They'll go 3 wide, and they'll look for Jim Benton. Short out on 3rd and 4. And that's caught. A gain of 14. And you now make it a 1st and 10. We'll go pitch to the right on Jim Brown. And Willis is going to come out of the game, or Wills. He will be replaced by Batonio, Joel Batonio. And it's going to be 2nd and 9. Brown gained a yard on that last play. We'll trap it to the left with Marion Motley, who gains 4. Bruce Smith on the tackle, and it's 3rd and 5. Cleveland needs a big play here, I would think. They want to quell that rally by the Bills, and we'll go screen to Jim Brown here. He's got a first down. That's his second reception of the game, 28 yards, but the bigger story is he has 17 carries for 110. We'll go to Motley on a dive. And Motley goes up the middle, and a gain of 20. Cleveland will go full house. They bring Leroy Kelly in as the 3rd running back here, and we will trap it to the right with him on 1st and goal from the 3, and he's got a touchdown. 1 carry, 1 score for Leroy Kelly. We're going to look at it, though.
Upon further review, the runner was stopped short of the end zone.
Oh, I'll have to do it again. Ball right on the goal line almost. 2nd and goal, 2:20 left. This will be the 10th play of Cleveland's drive. And we're going to sneak it with Otto Graham. And he makes it. Touchdown, we think.
The previous play was under review.
I spoke too soon.
Upon further review, the runner was stopped short of the end zone.
They review that play. In HTFL play, all scores and turnovers are looked at. And teams each get 1 challenge to look at things like the spot of the ball or so forth that aren't scores. And now you got a 3rd and goal. Very interesting situation here. You just give it to Jim Brown over the top here? I would say so. Let's do it. In the full house, and Brown has scored, we think. Touchdown, Cleveland. And that time, replay booth does not want to stop play, so this touchdown will stand. Give it to Jim Brown, and he has 2 on the day so far, and the point after try by Barr makes it 28-14. We have 2:03 left in the third quarter. McGee is back deep to punt. not to punt, but to receive the kickoff. And he returns it to the 29 after a 22-yard gain. So Buffalo back at it, 1st and 10 from their own 29. They have to hustle a little bit on these next few drives with so little time left in the game now. A gain of 5 by OJ. He's at 55 yards on the day now. Minute 46 to go. 2nd and 5 from the 34. They give to OJ again. OJ, a paltry gain of 2 yards. So now it's 3rd and 3 from the 36. Throw off the hands of Baldwin. And Buffalo will have to punt. A booming punt that will land inside the 15. And we'll fair catch it. You could hear that punt all the way in Akron. 49 yards. That just boomed off the foot of Mormon. And now Cleveland has it at the 22. They got 8 in the box, so I think it'll be a good time to throw along. We're going to go to Paul Warfield on a long pass. Play action. Incomplete, but
defense. Number 20, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Must have caught Buffalo off guard because they committed a defensive holding. With 19 seconds left, we'll go to Jim Brown again, and we will go off tackle right and get out of the third quarter. A gain of 6, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. 28-14, Cleveland. Back with you to start this fourth quarter now. Cleveland with the 14-point lead. They have a 2nd and 4 from their own 26. We'll go to Motley on a dive. He's short of the first down by just a little bit. He gains 4. Needed just a few inches more to get the first. And we'll go Brown on a quarterback sneak. Graham on a quarterback sneak because he's playing quarterback, of course. And he gains that first down. Cleveland would like to use some clock here, but Buffalo has 8 in the box. We'll go medium hitch to Warfield. Instead, it's a throw to Motley, who gains 12. Graham has not thrown the ball much. He has thrown it 13 times, 11 completions, 198 yards. In comparison, they have ran it 31 times for 178. So pretty one-dimensional so far Cleveland has been. But if you got Jim Brown and Marion Motley in your backfield, you might as well. Trap right to Jim Brown, by the way, on 1st and 10. And even with 8 in the box, he's getting 6 yards there. He's got 122 on the day on 6 carries. So no slowing Jim Brown down. We're going to go trap to the left, Marion Motley. Back to the line, and that's all for 3rd and 4 at the 49. We're going to go Mitchell, and we're going to go short out. Look for number 42. Instead, they throw to... No, they did throw to Mitchell, but it was incomplete. And that was only the 3rd incompletion Otto Graham has had today. He gets lost in the shuffle in the argument of who's the best quarterback of all time because he played back in the 50s, and back then quarterbacks were not as accurate with their throws as, say, a Tom Brady or a Jimmy Garoppolo or a Pat Mahomes or the fellow from Baltimore, Lamar Johnson, would be today. But you got to throw him in the mix comparing eras. You can't really compare eras because that's back in an era when, quarterback might have to play 2 ways. Have to play offense and defense. But anyway, Gary Collins back to punt. Attempted a sideline pass. And that's a nice return for Bird, a 41 yards. Lee Evans and Thurman Thomas will enter the game. And now you have a 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 47. So Buffalo not out of this by a long shot. Here's the 1st and 10 play. They give it to Thomas. Thomas spelling O.J. Simpson, and Thurman Thomas gains 29. He out of Oklahoma State. It's been a real spark plug in these a situation where Buffalo needs points in the fourth quarter. He has come through many a time. First and 10 at the 18. So on one play, Buffalo gains 29. A throw and an incompletion as Kelly was looking for Andre Reed. Now second and 10 from the 18. A throw and an incompletion. Kelly threw that one away. Really wasn't looking for anybody specifically. Now a third and 10 from the 18 with 9:53 left. I smell an interception. There it is. Dixon, Hanford Dixon, with the INT, and that's the first pick of the year for him. First and 10, ball to 12, 9:46 left to go. They'll go double tight end, and they'll give it to Motley on a dive. Gain of 2 yards, moving it out to the 14 for a second and 8. Here's Jim Brown again, and he gets stuffed at the line. A 1-yard loss. Bird came up and lowered the boom on him. Third and 9. We're just going to give it to Brown on a draw here and just try to chew up clock. He gained 7. He needed 9. He's at 128 yards on the day. So Buffalo will punt. Here's Gary Collins. They have a wind advantage now in the fourth quarter. That was a big old kick. 52 yards. 5-yard return for Bird. First and 10 at the 33 for Buffalo. They have 7:16 left to go. So Jim Kelly, master of the hurry-up offense. They'll need it here. Incompletion as Thomas threw, was the intended receiver, but a high throw. Second and 10 at the 33. A catch by Thomas for 7 yards.
The face mask. Defense. Number 56, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And they get Chip Banks for twisting Furman Thomas's face mask there. Ouch. Saw a Monday night game back in '83 where a Pittsburgh Steeler did that to Kenny Anderson and nearly killed him by breaking his neck. Anyway, first and 10, ball to 45. A throw, and that's for 6 yards to Stevie Johnson as they go underneath the zone. Don Paul made the tackle. Second and 4 to 39. 1-yard
Grabbing
loss.
the face mask. Defense. Number 44,
Rimkus.
5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Called for grabbing the face mask. And it's first and 10 at the Cleveland 34 with 6:34 left. Never count this Buffalo team out. And Kelly threw that one away. In game 1 that they played against Philadelphia, they were down 14 with under 5 minutes to go, and they came back to win it in regulation. So anything's possible with these Bills. Second and 10 at the 34. They give it to Thomas. Lewis on the tackle after a 4-yard gain. Third and 6 now at the 30. Buffalo really needs a touchdown. A field goal really doesn't help them all that much. A gain of 12 on screen to Thomas. Dixon on the tackle. Hanford Dixon on the tackle for Cleveland with 5:51 left. First and 10, an incompletion. 7 bad passes, says our statisticians, that Jim Kelly has thrown today. He's 14 for 27 for 143 yards. He really hasn't had a great day. But that could all change in a short period of time. Second and 10 at the 18. Like I said, Buffalo really needs a touch here. And another bad pass by Kelly. Third and 10 at the 18. Kelly will throw. He finds Stevie Johnson for a gain of 11. Moved the ball to the 7 for a first and goal. 5:18 left. That's incomplete. Minifield was injured, but he will be okay and will stay in the game, at least for now. Second and goal from the 7. How about a throw to Evans, but that's incomplete. He's also wearing 83 down here with Andre Reed. Third and goal to 7 now. Buffalo really needing that touchdown. Incomplete. They're going to kick a field goal? Are you kidding me? They get it, but they still need 2 scores. They need a touchdown, a 2, and a field goal to tie. Really don't understand the logic of that. We'll watch for the onside kick here. They kick it deep instead. Another little baffling show of logic there by the Buffalo coaching staff. And it's 28-17 Buffalo, trailing by 11. We'll go hard count, and we'll give it to a dive on Motley. A 1 yard game. Motley with 58 yards rushing, two catches for 27. How about Jim Brown on a trap right? As Buffalo has 8 in the box. Talley was hurt on the last play, but he will be fine. Brown is at 135 yards, and it was Talley, the injured player, making the tackle on the last play. 3rd and 2. I'm a little sadistic sometimes. We're going to go a long pass to Mitchell here, Bobby Mitchell on 3rd and 2. Oh, wait a minute. Here's the throw, and there's an interception, and I pay for my sadism. Henry Jones with the pick, and Buffalo with new life. 2:58 to go at the Cleveland 39. A throw to Thomas, he gets out of bounds. Send all your letters to Big Paulie, Pinellas Park, Florida, for that foolish decision of mine. A gain of 6, and it's 2nd and 4, ball at the 33. I'm not giving my address on YouTube, are you kidding?
Illegal contact, defense. Number 62, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Cleveland letting Buffalo march down the field. That time it was intended for Evans, and Darden deflected it out. 2nd and 10 at the 28. We have 2:44 to go. Thomas, they were trying to screen it to Thomas, but that was incomplete. Thought there might be a penalty on the play. There wasn't. 3rd and 10 at the 28. To Thomas. Got back to the line, and that's all. Now it makes sense for Buffalo to kick another field goal here with 2:23 left. Lindell from 45. They better hope they get it. He does not. And Cleveland gets it back. And they probably will not let Otto Graham throw the ball at all. Even if it's 3rd and 50 here. Which would be impossible. Let's see. It would be 3rd and 45 yards would be the highest the down and distance could go because they're at their own 35. A dive to Jim Brown. He will gain 4 up the middle before Washington gets to him. They'll call a timeout for the 2-minute warning. No, they won't call a timeout. That they will run it to the 2-minute warning. Each team with all their timeouts left. So Cleveland in the driver's seat, provided they don't make any more stupid mistakes by the human behind the computer coaching them. That would be me, by the way. Off tackle left, Marion Motley on 2nd and 6. He will gain 1 yard. Buffalo calls time. 3rd and 5. Jim Brown on a draw. And he gets a 4-yard loss. Buffalo using their second timeout. They have 1 left. Gary Collins will come in to punt. Don't do anything stupid, Gary. And that's a 2-yard return. Tackled by Golick by Bird. Bird was the return man there. Okay, 28-17. We got a minute 39 left. Buffalo has a miracle in them. Now would be the time. A screen to Thomas. Thomas loses 3 on that pass. That was the 37th pass of the day for Jim Kelly. A 2nd and 13. They screen it again to Thomas, and he gains 4 this time. So 2 passes for 1 yard so far in this series for Buffalo. 3rd and 9. Will they throw a screen again? They won't, but they go to Thomas again for a gain of 3. Cleveland will not burn a timeout, but Buffalo uses their last with a minute 13 to go. 4th and 6 could be the last gasp for Buffalo, and it will be. Chip Banks makes his 10th tackle of the day. They needed 6 yards. They got 4. So now Jimmy Brown can rest easy, and Otto Graham can too. All he's got to do is find a couple of knees, and this will be over. And that's one stoppage of the clock. Handshakes all around because this game is over. Your final score, Cleveland 28, Buffalo 17. Cleveland jumped out to a 21-0 lead, but it wasn't easy to close the deal on this very scrappy Buffalo Bills team. 397 yards for Cleveland, 276 for Buffalo. Each team scored 3 times in 4 red zone penetrations. Cleveland a little sharper on third down, 7 out of 12. Buffalo 5 out of 16. Let's see here. 3 turnovers in the game. We had 16 penalties in the game after a slow start with the Hankies. Let's see what else is there. Turnovers were about even, 2-1. Cleveland had 199 yards rushing the ball and 198 throwing. And first downs were about even, 22-20 in favor of Cleveland. And this final will be 28-17 Cleveland, who now moves to 3-1 in the lower North Division. Cincinnati could tie them with their game later on in the week. Baltimore and Pittsburgh are 2-2, so you're going to have all 4 teams in this division at least 2 or 2 or better. We still have 3 undefeated teams: Carolina, Washington, and New York. Our next stop will be with Carolina, who I just mentioned is 3-0, and they will play New England. And after that, we have Philadelphia, Atlanta, and San Diego traveling. Well, they would travel by plane to Jacksonville, but if they took a bus or a van or whatever have you, they'd spend most of that time on Interstate 10 traveling to Jacksonville. A little bit on Interstate 8 and then Interstate 10. So those are your next 3 games coming to you on the Hometown Football League. We'll take a look at the standings real fast. Buffalo falls now to 1-3 after that miracle win over Philadelphia. They have now dropped back to 2.5 games behind New York. Remember that the Upper East and the Lower East are conferences, and we take the winner of the 2 divisions, and then we take the 2 wild cards. So you could have New York and Washington play each other, hypothetically, if because you never know how the season will wind up, for the Eastern Championship, and then we take the 4 conference winners of the East, South, North, and West, seed those teams, and then those 2 winners of the championship semifinals will meet for the first HTFL championship. I'm thinking of calling it Championship 1. If you want to know the truth, I'm not going to call it the Super Bowl or anything like that, because I think this would be a game of all-time legends, would be something a little more festive. I think just calling it Championship 1, and then we play another season, call that Championship 2, or what have you. So anyway, your final, 28-17, Cleveland over Buffalo. Jim Brown, perhaps the MVP of the day, with a 135-yard rushing effort. And this has been Big Paulie coming to you. We'll catch you again tomorrow, we hope. Bye-bye for now, everybody.